What's up guys, my name is Veikko and welcome to another exciting Phenomenal Creations video episode here. And welcome to YouTube, welcome to a new motion graphics tutorial. Today I'm not doing visual effects, that will be next week, but today I'm doing motion graphics because it's been a really requested topic on this channel recently. So people want to know how I create techniques, how I create my intro titles, my lower thirds, and this kind of cool stuff. I use really simple techniques, but not everyone does know about them. So today I'm going to show you how you can understand them and use them in your own productions. But if you are here to want to learn one specific kind of motion graphic stuff here, you might want to look elsewhere, since this tutorial is aimed for you who want to learn and get the knowledge and the know-how to create your own motion graphics and not have to rely on others' work and you're just doing your own stuff. So doing your own stuff is always better and it always feels better. And in the end, you learn something new. So that's why you're here, right? So here you can see on the screen, I have a couple of different kind of animations here. I have this title animations going from different directions like this. I have the lines, the animating lines from left to right. I use that a lot. Then I have a simple and scale and rotation animation for the logo itself. And then at the bottom we have this write-on effect, like handwriting write-on effect that works with any kind of font you desire and you want to use. So very cool techniques in this tutorial. Let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and check out how this is created and start doing stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and create a new composition by clicking the new comp button here. Let's call this tutorial because I want to. Okay, and a small tip: when you start creating motion graphics and you have your final element in mind, it's better for you to build it two-dimensional without animations in the beginning and then start doing the animations afterwards. So let's do that. So let's go ahead and bring our logo here, which is just my YouTube logo here. Alright, so here we have our element we want to start to animate. So let's start with the logo itself. Let's go and select the logo here. I want the anchor point to be in the middle. Let's hit S on our keyboard for scale. Let's hit the stopwatch and put it to somewhere around 1 second because I want it to end up in this size and have the first frame 0 pixels. So it goes from 0 to 15 pixels during 1 second. Alright, then let's go ahead and highlight these keyframes and use keyframe assistant and easy ease. You can also use F9 as a shortcut. This is just to give some more smoothness in the beginning and the end. Looks already a lot better, but I want it to be fast in the beginning and have this really slow and smooth ending. And then we have to jump into the speed graph here and see our speed graph here. Now you can see it's a uniform smooth line here. If you don't see this, go to this list icon and have edit speed graph enabled. You might have edit value graph and it looks like this. You can do similar stuff, but speed graph, not reference, speed graph, reference away. Yeah, let's highlight this right point here and bring it all the way to the left. This will make it fast in the beginning and have a really slow and smooth ending, like this. Ah, love this look. That's already the first technique for you to use, having really smooth animations in position, scale, you name it. Let's add in some rotation. Let's click R on our keyboard to get rotation. Click on stopwatch. Hit Shift S so you can see also the scale keyframe so you can match them up. I want it in the end to be this, no rotation at all, a little bit afterwards, and have it rotate from -90 degrees, for example. And let's see how it looks. Okay, it looks like this. Let's start doing the same thing. Let's go ahead and smooth them out with the easy ease. So I'm going to use the F9 shortcut here. I'll go to the speed graph and bring this closer here. And let's see what we have right now. this is looking really good. And if you want to create the going like in the original example here, if you did notice, you can see this tail is going back and forth. You can do the exact same thing. You just make it rotate here, and then have another keyframe coming back to 0. And then you just play with the duration and speed. Let's go ahead and add some graphing to it too, so it looks somewhat similar. Smooth this a little earlier here. Now, this looks good. This looks pretty much what we want. And you can always play with them and have them work. Depending on your logo, you might not even want to do this. Alright, so we got the logo done and created. Now let's go ahead and focus on the lines here. So I want the lines to just animate from the middle to the edges. So let's go ahead and take the shape layer number 1 here. And I want it to start animating when this is scaling up somewhere around here. Let's click S and unlink this the X and Y scale here. Let's go ahead and click scale here. Let's move this again. Let's do it reverse and have just the x-axis from 0. So now it's scaling from middle to the edges like this. Let's do pretty much the same thing. Let's go ahead and ease them. Let's make them smoother. And let's make them faster. Now, this looks cool. We have that really smooth and quick animation. So I don't want to do manually the same animation to this other line. I just wanted to have the exact same animation here. So what we can do is go ahead and click scale, just highlight the scale and click Command C or Control C. We just copy the effect. And let's go to the other shape layer. Let's go a little bit later in time and paste. Now when we paste, if you click U, you can see the keyframes. It's just happening a little bit later. So now we have this cool time alternating animation here. But you might not notice now they're as big. Now they have the same size, and this was originally smaller. Super easy to fix. Let's just go to the last keyframe here and edit the size like this. Perfect. I really dig how this looks right now. Awesome. Okay, let's now start creating on this the title to work to animate from up and down. And here's some cool techniques I'm going to show you working from using the character animations. So you can do cool animations with the characters' words without having to animate them on hand. So you're going to like this part. So let's go ahead and select this VK layer. Let's drop this arrow down so we can see text and transformation. And you can have this animate button here, you see here. And click on this little arrow. And I want to add the, like animate the position. I want to go from up to down, but you can also do this same thing for scale, skew, the rotation, opacity, basic stuff. So play around with those, you're going to dig them a lot. So let's click position here. Let's drop the range selector. Range selector is just the whole area we're working with. And let's drop the advanced down. Alright, so here we can start doing stuff we want to. So I want the animation not to happen like each character at time. I want words. So I'm just gonna add words like this. And then I want to have this ease low, which is basically an easy ease, or like a smooth ending. You know, having that smooth ending. So I want that to somewhere around like 80%. You can also do it 100. And easy high is the same thing if you want to have just smooth beginning. But I want it to start like from 0 and going to 100 like this. And then here we have to go and select the position. So let's go ahead and have the position to start from here. All right. And I want the words to start happening somewhere here they can start animating. So let's go to this range selector and start. And the start parameter, let's click on the stopwatch. Let's move a bit like a second. And let's make this 100%. So it's where it animates like this. Let's look how this looks like. Cool. Let's make it a little bit quicker. Doesn't have to be that slow. Nice. I like this. Then we can go ahead and easy is just the last keyframe here. So we have some added smoothness. Well, let's take that away. We don't want that. It was smoother like this. My bad. So we have this and it looks pretty cool, but though we have a couple problems. We can see this is visible here and we don't want it to be visible. We want it like to come from nothing. Let's put it that way. So then we're gonna use an alpha matte. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead and create take the shape tool and let's go ahead and create a shape layer on top of our text like this. Let's go ahead and have it underneath our this is VK layer there and have it on alpha matte. No, alpha matte inverted. Alpha matte. Oh yeah. No. My bad. Let's go ahead and move this shape layer to where it's gonna be. Sorry, I'm a bit slow today. So now when we do this, we can see it coming, the animation happens in the middle since this shape layer is acting like a mask or like a matte for the animation. So the text will just be visible in this area where we have restricted our box in. Awesome. But what if we want the letter S to come from the other direction? Well, it's pretty basic how to do that too. The only thing we need to do is to duplicate our this is VK. So it got the same animation. Let's go ahead and go to the text, the animator, the range selector right here. And let's have the same end position, but I want it to begin the position to begin higher up. So let's have the range selector here. So I want it to start from up here. So when we check this out, now they animate at the same time. So now we don't have to do an alpha matte as we did. We can just have this VK selected, and let's take the rectangle tool and make a mask for just the part the letter is gonna appear. So then it should look like, okay. So now we have that extracted, but we still have the problem coming from down below. And how we can maneuver this is we take this is VK, the first layer here, and let's take a mask and mask just the is part. And let's make it a subtract layer here. So let's go from add, subtract, and now we should have down, up, and down. Awesome. So just the mask which I was subtracted it from the other, and now we have created this. So we have pretty much done we have 3 or 4 techniques done. Alright, we're about at the 15-minute range right now. Let's just speed up this last part, this welcome section. So bear with me still, but you have learned a lot today. So you have learned to make this awesome scale animation, the lines, the alternating times. A good tip to have them alternate, not have a good tip for motion graphics is that the animation starts in different times. That's pleasing to the eye. So do that kind of stuff. Don't have every animation start at the same time and end at the same time. Have them doing a little bit of this time alternating. It looks a lot better. So let's go ahead and focus on this welcome text. Okay, this is probably the hardest effect to do, but it's not hard. This is a bit more time consuming. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and select the welcome layer. Let's go ahead and first create a solid background for our whole thing here. Background layer, we forgot that, so we have it just that in the background. Now let's select the welcome text layer and hit Command Y. We just create a new solid. Command Y, Control Y, and have this as trace. Click OK. Have it below the welcome layer. Then what we do is select our trace. Let's go ahead and zoom in and take the pen tool, which is hitting G on our keyboard, and start creating a path for our letters here. Like this. It doesn't have to be super perfect because we're gonna work with this later. And then you have to start a new path here. We just want the path, so you can select another point here or have no point selected by shift clicking and then beginning just a new path here like this. So you can create a new path without having to close a path to restrict the solid. So once you have done your trace ready, then you can go ahead to this effects and presets and find this stroke effect here. And then drag this to the trace, the solid layer. Let's go ahead and add all masks here. Good, and then let's just kick out the brush size. Brush size here. So it starts filling our text here. And then what you can do is go ahead and select the welcome layer. Let's go ahead and drop the opacity. And then you're going to use a little bit of time to zoom in and start maneuvering the mask here so it fills the entire text here. And also let's put the brush hardness to 100%. And then you start just doing this and double checking it's filling our entire text. Once you've done this, we can go ahead and turn off the welcome layer so we can see our trace here. And then let's have it start animating from this, have this start here and have the end going down to 0. So the end is going to 0%. Let's hit the end stopwatch and bring it a couple seconds forward, and let's have this go 100% like this. And then we got this animation. We have the handwriting stuff going on, but we have to start restricting this solid animation to the text we just did. Don't you agree? We have to do that too. So what we have to do now is we can go ahead and turn on the welcome layer here like this. And what we do now is we go ahead and pre-compose this trace layer here. So Command C and have it pre-composed. It'll move all the attributes to a new composition. Let's keep adjusted to trace comp, click OK. And then I have an alpha matte to the welcome. Boom. So what we have now created is that we have done an alpha matte that's recreating our handwriting effect here. Then we can go inside the trace comp. Let's have it to fit so we can see something. You can select the trace, and then you can go ahead and add any color you want to. I can go ahead and take this blue color here. Click OK. Go to tutorial, and now it's blue. So that's pretty snazzy. Let's see what we have here. Let's have a small render here. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So now we have created some motion graphics, and this might be not the prettiest emblem here, but this point of this tutorial was to teach you guys some techniques to use in your production to start creating more interesting motion graphics. And if you're interested in how to create like these cool lower thirds, I have a tutorial on the channel that shows you how to create really stylish and clean lower thirds, and so go check that out if you're interested. Some of the techniques I used here is also used there, and then you can find their techniques which I didn't use here. But hey, that was pretty much it for this tutorial. If you did like this and you want to see more motion graphics, don't forget to hit that like button down below. And hey, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're new here. And if you want to learn After Effects and Fusion, you're in the right channel. Check out and click that subscribe button there, and don't forget to hit that bell to get notified when new videos coming up on this channel. So that was it for this time. My name is VK. Thanks so much for sticking around. I'll see you guys in the next one.